Hi everybody and welcome back to Lushtopia, where we talk about all things lush. But today we are going to do a little Q&A on my tongue piercing. I've had my tongue piercing exactly 1 week today. Probably not by the time this video goes up, it'll probably a few days after, but I've wrote down 10 of the most common questions I have been asked about my tongue piercing, and I'm going to answer it for you guys in case you're maybe interested in getting your tongue done, you know what to expect. So if you're interested at all in hearing about my tongue piercing, then you can just keep on watching. But before we get into this, I would really appreciate it if you would give this video a like, leave a comment or think about subscribing, as it would mean the absolute world to me. Also, do not mind the crazy hairdo I have going on at the moment. I've been out sunbathing all day, so this is what we're working with. The first question I have wrote down in front of me is, what if I pull my tongue back whilst the piercer is trying to pierce it? And I honestly, having my tongue pierced, I don't think it's possible that you could do that, because what they do is, if you've had any sorts of piercings, you'll see the clamps that they use. So they put the big clamp on your tongue and pull your tongue out, and they usually have quite a good grip on your tongue to stop you from moving it. And by the time that you get your tongue pierced, it's like it's over and done with. It's like the shock of the piercing has already been and gone, and you're just waiting for them to put the jewellery in. So in my personal opinion, I do not think that you would be able to pull your tongue back into your mouth whilst they're trying to pierce it, because as I say, as you get it pierced, it's over and done with and it's not that bad at all. Can you eat whilst it is healing? So as I said, mine has only been done for 1 week exactly, and it's still quite tender and I'm still in a little bit of pain with it. Nothing compared to what it was. I think now it's just a bit more because of the size of the bar. As you can see, there's quite a bit of gap at the bottom, so when I'm talking it's hurting a little bit because the bar's moving it around. When you're eating, the bar's moving around, so you need to be very, very careful when you're eating. Focus on exactly where your tongue bar is at all times and you'll be fine whilst you're eating. But I wrote down a couple of things that got me through my first week of having my tongue pierced. So I would eat a lot of soup. Make sure it's not too hot, because if it's hot it will hurt. So make sure you obviously heat your soup up but leave it to cool a little bit, because if you try and eat roasting hot soup you're going to be in agony. So I had soup. I would eat some jelly. I would like to eat the jelly with a little bits of fruit in it, just to give me a little something to chew, because obviously the fruit's soft, so I would have that. I would have some ice cream. I would have some pasta, but only the pasta with like the small shells, like macaroni pasta type of thing. I would have like things like that because it wasn't too hard to chew, and if push comes to shove you can swallow that whole. So it's basically just a lot of things that you can swallow whole. I'd also have the tiny plum tomatoes, but I did notice with them that they did sting my piercing a little bit. I don't know if it's because of the amount of acid that's in them or not, but that did seem to irritate my piercing just a little bit. But I had to eat something, so I just bared with it and just used my mouthwash after I ate them. I would have quite a lot of mashed potatoes as well, and I would just mix different things in my mashed potatoes, like all the herbs and cheese and things like that, just for a little bit more calories, because you do feel absolutely drained not being able to eat for like a week. After day 2 I was absolutely starving. You think it'll be no bother just surviving on soup, but it's not good, and trying to work every day, it was just an absolute nightmare. So anything extra that I could put in my food I was doing, just to give me a little bit more energy and just to try and make it a little bit easier for it to heal, because if your body's not got anything in it, it's not going to heal properly. So you've got to try and keep eating as much as you can, even though you know for a fact that it's going to hurt. But yeah, so that was a little list of things that I would eat. Also try and avoid spicy foods. Today I had a little bit of a spicy food and my tongue was fine, but I think if you have spicy foods when you just get it pierced, it will irritate it quite a lot, because it can actually go in your piercing, which is not good. So try and avoid that. Try and avoid it obviously being hot and spicy food. Next question is, will I talk funny? 100% yes, in my opinion. I don't know how anybody could talk normal after getting their tongue pierced. Even if your tongue doesn't swell too much, it's again the bar that causes a lot of bother. You will get pierced with a big bar just to obviously give you some room for the swelling, and it's that makes you talk funny. That hits off your teeth, it hits off the roof of your mouth. Even just now talking, my tongue's not swollen at all and I'm having difficulty trying to say some words properly because the bar is hitting off the bottom of my teeth. So after a couple of weeks hopefully we'll be able to change that and everything will be fine. But yeah, in my opinion you definitely will talk funny. Just for a little while. The next question is, why do you need to use alcohol-free mouthwash? And that is because, see, when you use mouthwash and it's like it kind of stings your mouth a little bit, that is the problem. You can't have that going in a freshly pierced tongue. That would actually start to wear away the skin on your tongue. It would irritate it so much. And also, like Listerine with the alcohol, that is designed to be used once, maximum twice every day. So when you get your tongue pierced, you're meant to use your mouthwash after every single thing you eat or drink other than water. So if you're using that, say 6 or 7 times a day and it's got alcohol in it, it's just going to mess up your mouth real bad. So I would definitely recommend the alcohol-free mouthwash. It's just as good, only doesn't sting, doesn't irritate. So yeah, that is the answer to that. Next question is, can the piercing damage your teeth? Again, 100% yes. You've got to be totally aware of where that bar is in your mouth at all times. Even talking to you guys just now, I know exactly what my tongue is doing. I know that I'm not moving it in any certain ways, that I'm going to bite down on it. Especially when you're eating, you've got to make sure that you know what is food and what is your tongue bar. It's quite hard to figure that out the first couple of times that you're eating, but now I'm pretty sure when I'm eating that I'm not going to bite down on my tongue bar. As I says, once I'm able to change the bar, I think it will be a lot easier. I won't need to watch what I'm doing just as much, but for now I'm definitely very, very careful of what I'm doing, the movements in my mouth, all sorts of things like that, because as you can see, it is just a full metal bar. So if you bite on that, you could seriously damage your teeth. So that is something to take into consideration if you're thinking of getting a tongue piercing. The question is it easy to hide from other people? In my opinion, no. I don't know how I could have got this done and for anybody round about me not to know that I had this pierced. For instance, when I went out to work on the Monday after getting it done, I was in the car with my co-workers for all of 10 minutes and they were already asking if I had my tongue pierced because they could hear it in my talking. Your tongue swells. If you've got a swollen tongue, you're not going to be able to talk the same way that you always do. Even now that it's not swollen, I still can't talk the same. You guys can probably tell that I'm not talking the same as what I did before I had my tongue piercing. So in my opinion, if you want something pierced and you're going to try and hide it from like your parents or whatever, definitely not a tongue piercing. That's not the way to go because this is not an easy one to hide. Once it heals up, then maybe that could be different, because I do know that you can get the clear like bars, the plastic ones that you can put in your tongue so that it's not as easy to see it. But for the first couple of weeks after getting this done, I don't think it's going to be very easy to hide. Number one, because it's a big metal bar, you can see that when you're talking, and number two, because of how you talk to people is completely different. The next question is, do you lose the taste in your mouth? In my opinion, no. Your mouth has so many taste buds on it. I can say that the ones at the very front of my tongue have been damaged. I can feel it. It's like numb and tingling at the front. I'm hoping that that will go back to normal. I've heard that it will go back to normal, but I'm just hoping that it does because it's just a very weird feeling. But yeah, I've not lost any taste in my mouth at all whatsoever. I obviously can't speak for everybody, but this is just my opinion. There's no taste lost. When I'm eating food, I can taste it all just fine. The next question is, what is the healing time? The healing time for this piercing is between 6 to 8 weeks. As I said, I'm a week in and I can already feel it healing, but if I took this out, it probably would heal up in a matter of minutes. I think you can change the bar after about 2 or 3 weeks of having it pierced, but as long as it's like a quick action. So yeah, the piercer says between 6 to 8 weeks. And I think it is one of the quickest healing piercings that you can get. Your tongue is a muscle and it heals very, very quick. The next question is, can you get paralysed from your tongue piercing? I don't know about you, but when I was younger, I would always hear people saying how you could be paralysed through getting your tongue pierced, and that is 100% not true. All of the type of nerves that could do that to you is located in your spine, not your tongue. Your body isn't that badly designed that it would keep a very, very huge nerve like that in your tongue. Think about how many things can go wrong with your tongue. So you can definitely not get paralysed from getting your tongue pierced, but you can bleed a lot if you get your tongue pierced. That's why the piercers check for veins and things like that, because you could seriously have a lot of bleeding on your hands if you pierce your tongue and your tongue's not suitable for that type of thing. But don't worry, you will not be paralysed. The last question is, what was the pain? Out of a 10, like 10 being the sorest, I think it was probably, the initial piercing was probably about a 4 out of 10. It's usually more of the healing that is sore, not the piercing itself. So the first 2 days my tongue wasn't sore really at all. I could talk, you know, fine, but it obviously was swole. So it was a bit sore talking just because of the swelling. But then on day 3, between day 3 and 5 was the worst pain that I had been through. But again, I think at the top it was probably more of a 6, maybe 5, 6 out of 10. It wasn't sore constantly, only when I was talking and eating. So if you didn't want any pain, then you could just stop the talking. But me being a very talky person, I would talk all day, every day. So that's why mine was probably so sore. But yeah, the pain wasn't that bad at all. I think biting your tongue is so much sorer than getting it pierced. So if it's the pain that's putting you off getting your tongue pierced, try and just get by that, because it's not as sore as what you think it's going to be. I think it's just because it is your tongue. A lot of people think it will be absolutely agony, whereas it's not at all. All these ear piercings that I have were so much sorer than getting my tongue pierced. I think it's because they are cartilage, whereas your tongue isn't. So the needle, as weird as it sounds, just goes through your tongue, not a bother. So that is the most top 10 common questions I have got about my tongue piercing so far. If you've got any comments on it, any questions, you can leave it in the comment section down below. I'll be more than happy to answer it for you guys if I can. If you like this type of video, please give me a big thumbs up. It would be very much appreciated. Think about subscribing if you like this type of content, and I'll see you guys in my next video.